Hey guys, Ryan here, back to complain about something wrong going on with the Detroit Lions. Real quick before I get into Ragnow, if you enjoy watching Lions fans complain, please hit that subscribe button. I'll be doing it probably every week from now until the Super Bowl, unless we win, hopefully. But unless you've been hiding under a rock today, Frank Ragnow, the All-Pro center for the Detroit Lions, has officially stated that he wants to retire. This happened about 6 hours ago, and I am still in shock. Word has been going around this past week that Frank has asked for a new contract, for things to be worked around. A lot of people are pointing out that he was currently under contract, and he is, but he wanted a new deal because there was no guaranteed money left on his deal. Something similar happened to Matthew Stafford when he got to LA. And being that Frank is a guy who seemingly is always injured, him wanting more guaranteed money certainly makes sense, which, probably informed his choice to hang up his cleats. This is a tough thing. And the big question is why now? Right? This is the first question I ask myself. The draft has passed, free agency has passed, or is still going on, but it's just really late in the game after OTAs have started for a key piece on your offensive line to call it quits. So, what I think really happened, and we won't know for quite some time or maybe ever, but the most likely thing in my eyes is that Brad Holmes and Frank were talking out a new deal. Brad Holmes probably was not willing to guarantee money given the injury history and all the other places that money is going on the Detroit Lions currently. We talked about it on our last episode, but they probably just couldn't get there. And I don't, with all the talk about Frank Ragnow being the stand-up guy he is, and we know Brad Holmes generally has a great relationship with his players, I can't see that this was some sort of like, oh, well, screw you if you're not going to give it to me. I'm just going to retire, blah, blah, blah. Like, any any Lions fans knows that Ragnow has been mulling retirement for the good part of a few years now. The guy gets beat up, man. He truly gets beat up. He's got some inoperable thing going on with his foot. He hurt his chest last year and played through it like the tough guy that he is. He's kind of like he always reminds me of a hockey player. Like breaks his nose, just gets back on the ice. There's always something going on with him, and it really just does take its toll. I can't imagine. And for him to continue to play at the all pro level he has for really his entire career is nothing short of amazing. This video is not going to entail any bit of me hating on Frank Ragnow for the person he is, for the job he's done as a center for the Detroit Lions. Like, you can make all the jokes you want about star players retiring early for the Lions, haha. Like we've all seen the memes by now, but it's true. I mean, he's been a baller since day one. He is one of the best things to come out of the Quintricia era, and he really has been a stud. And he's been the leader of our team, right? It really does hurt to lose him, especially in this Super Bowl window we find ourselves in. And it's not the news that any Lions fan was looking forward to hearing. But I really think it was just a case of, a guy who's, over 30 now. His body's taken a beating from all these injuries, and he decided that enough was enough. And maybe the contract talks were overblown. Maybe this is something that was going to happen the entire time, regardless of his deal. Like I said, we don't know yet, but it's going to be a lot of speculation. But regardless, Frank, we wish you the best. I mean, not a bad thing to say, man. But it is a bad thing for our team moving forward. I'm not going to go doomsday with it. I'm not going to go, well, that's it. Super Bowl, kiss it goodbye, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to hear that from me, but it's definitely going to take some finagling to figure this out. I was already worried about our offense a little bit. Ben Johnson's gone. Of course, that's a natural worry of every Lions fan. And if it's not, you're lying. But this doesn't help our offense. The true strength of our offense has always been our offensive line. I'll stand by that. And it's still a very strong offensive line, even without Ragnow. But the truth is that in every game that Ragnow has missed in the years past, our offense struggles. In that Houston game, I believe Ragnow was out and our offense struggled. Maybe it was Decker. I hope I didn't mix them up. But regardless, our offense just doesn't function well without Ragnow historically. And although I believe we dumped a lot of resources into building depth on the offensive line, and we have, it is going to be a challenge to figure out. I think Brad Holmes is the type of guy who has contingency plans for when this sort of thing happens. So I have faith in him and Campbell to figure it out, but there's a lot of moving pieces. So what I think is most likely going to happen next year is that Graham Glasgow moves to center, currently our starting guard, who's shown the ability to play center when Ragnow is out. And I think we're going to count on our young guys for the rest of our interior offensive line. I think you're going to see Christian Mahogany slide in at left guard. Excuse me. And I think Tate Radlich is going to have to be right guard. And that comes with question marks for sure. I mean, he's a rookie after all. He still hasn't signed his rookie deal for what it's worth. Hopefully that's not an issue too. But I think that's probably going to be the most likely scenario for our offensive line moving forward. Now, we still have a lot of great pieces on our line. Like I said, it's not doomsday. As long as you have Sewell and you have Decker playing at a high level, moderately high, given his older years. But as long as you have that going, I think we'll be okay. My issue is if we have an injury to one of those guys, or even the new replacement on, with the center or the guards, then that's when, things start getting hairy. I don't think we're done adding depth, especially considering the news. I think moves are yet to be made, and I think they need to be made for the sake of our offensive line and the sanity of every Detroit Lions fan. So all in all, it was a great career for Frank Ragnow. It makes me very sad to watch him go. I've been dreading this day like it's no other, but wish him all the best, man, and we'll make it. I mean, that's football, right? So I'll give more thoughts on the show this week, and if you're interested, tune into that, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you later. Thanks for listening. Peace out.